This video is going to go through the 333 part of this lesson. And this is a system of inequalities, so it's not really different from 223, except that you're graphing two on the same graph and then being able to answer about them. And so this is typically what the question would look like in previous years. However, you are going to have multiple choice ones on your assessments, and so I want to show you that. So this example, which graph matches the system below, and then we have two inequalities. And it doesn't tell you which one is red and which one is blue, so you have to figure that kind of out on your own. And so what I do is I look for where the y-intercept is for each of them. So for this one, the y-intercept is at -1, and that is down here. So it's the red line on this one, this one, this one, and this one. So it's red for all. And then that means the other one is blue for all. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to see if they're graphed, like which one is graphed correctly. So I have to choose this before I can answer the questions that follow. So I'm going to check the red lines first. So the first thing I want to do is see, is this supposed to be a dashed or solid line? Since there is not the line underneath the inequality symbol, it's just a greater than, this is going to be dashed. So I'm looking for a red line that's dashed. A works, B does not, C does not, and D does. Okay, now I'm going to kind of check the blue line, see if I can figure out if that's going to help me. So this one is supposed to be solid, and for this and this, they're both solid. So that didn't really help me. So I need to pick one of them and decide to plug in a point. So I'm going to plug in 0, 0 for the red line. 0 minus 1 is -1, so this says 0 is greater than -1. And that is true. 0 is bigger than -1. It is bigger than all numbers. So for the red line, we should be shading toward 0, 0, which does happen in A and does not happen in D. So A is my answer. So I don't need to check anything else about the blue line, like where that one's shaded, because I know that this one is correct by process of elimination. So now we can use our graph and we can answer these questions. So these questions are similar to the ones that could be on your test. We'll usually only ask one of them. So the first one is just name a point that's part of the solution. The solution for a system is the overlapped area. And so in this, it'd be where it's both red and blue, which is kind of like this diamond looking area. And so I can pick any point in there. So I'm going to do 4, 4. See how that is very clearly in the area? Don't pick ones on the line because sometimes they're in the solution, sometimes they're not. If they're on a dash line, it's not part of the solution. If it's on a solid, it is. So just a heads up. I always like to be really careful and just put it right in the middle of the area so there's no confusion. So my point is 4, 4. Second type of question is name a point that's part of the solution region for this equation, but not this one. So that's why I like to color code them. The equation it wants it to be a solution for is the red, so it's part of the red, but not the blue. And so I can look at what's red and not blue, and I'm going to do -2, 2. It's very clearly only in red. The next type of question is to name a point that's not part of either. And so that would be the blank area, so it's not part of either solution. And so I'm going to do -1, -3. And the last type of question is like, here's a point, is this point part of the solution? And so this one is 1, 0 a point? So this is 1, 0. And remember the solution region is double shaded. And this one is really tricky because it's right on the corner where they meet. And where they meet would be where the solid blue line touches the dashed red line. Because dash lines are not part of the solution, this is a no. So we're going to say no, the red line is dashed and not part of the solution. So you need to be able to identify like the graph correctly and then pick out points in the solution for the 3.0 level.